From November 15th to November 30th, I was taking a vacation. As soon as my vacation ended, I got straight back to work on the game. In this video, I'll tell you what I've accomplished over the past 2 weeks, and what I plan to work on next. First, I'll talk about Osana and the speed of her development. I've mentioned this many times before, but in order to implement Osana, I need assets. The assets I need have been trickling in one by one over the past few months, so I've been able to make bits and pieces of progress on Osana. But I haven't been able to make huge leaps of progress because I've been waiting for the most important type of asset, animations, which take a very long time to make. Recently, I received a lot of the animations that I've been waiting for, so now I can finally start making huge leaps of progress instead of little bits of progress. I'm very excited about this, and I can't wait to finally start giving Osana a schedule and making her interact with Senpai. While I was waiting for the assets that I required, I spent my time fixing the game's frame rate, implementing the most requested features, improving my code, and adding new modes to help you pass the time while waiting for Osana. Now that I finally have most of the assets I've been waiting for, I'm going to turn my attention away from those other things and focus almost exclusively on Osana. With that said, it's possible that we may hit another point in time where I must stop working on Osana and wait for further assets before I can continue making progress on her. Originally, my personal goal was to implement Osana before January 1st, but this is no longer likely to happen. I underestimated how long it would take for all of Osana's necessary assets to be created. To make this process go by faster, I should have requested the assets months in advance. This is something that I will take into consideration when planning future rivals for Yandere Simulator. It's very unlikely that any rival girl will take as long to implement as Osana has taken. My goal is to design the rival system so that plugging in new rivals is a simple and easy process, as long as I have the assets required. To be honest, it doesn't bother me if it takes a long time for me to receive assets, because I can spend that time working on all of the other features that still need to be implemented or improved. I have a lot of different tasks to complete, but I don't think it's important what order those tasks are completed in, as long as they all get done. I could make the delinquents walk around the school in January and implement the guidance counselor in February, or I could implement the counselor in January and the delinquents in February. It really doesn't matter which task gets done first, as long as there is always progress being made. That's my philosophy towards Osana. I still have plenty of other things to work on, so I personally don't mind if it takes a long time to receive assets. If I tried to squeeze out Osana before January 1st, it would be a broken, busted, half-finished version of Osana, and I know that nobody wants to see that. Except Yandere-chan. She would want to see that. Anyway, enough about Osana. Now it's time to tell you what I've been working on for the past 2 weeks. A lot of the stuff I've been working on is meant to be a surprise, so I'm not willing to show you everything in full detail just yet. However, I will tell you about some additions and changes that I've made to mission mode. First of all, the text that appears on screen during mission mode has been changed to give mission mode a drastically different look and feel from normal gameplay. The concept of day-to-day reputation doesn't make sense in mission mode, so the reputation meter has been replaced with an awareness meter. Every time someone spots you doing something suspicious, the school students become a little bit more aware that there is a dangerous person on school grounds. If awareness reaches 100, everyone at school will realize that you are a threat, and you will instantly fail your mission. Next, the random mission screen has been revised. You now see a much larger portrait of your target, and a paragraph of text telling you about what weapon, clothing, and disposal method you must use. I have also added 5 new difficulty conditions. Instant failure if students see you doing suspicious things. Instant failure if a security camera sees you in a suspicious state. Instant failure if you pass through a metal detector while carrying a weapon. The inability to speak with other students. and an additional mission objective aside from killing your target. You must find a key, find a safe, unlock the safe, and steal its contents. It's not supposed to be super well hidden, but I'm not going to tell you where it is because I think it would be more fun to let you find it on your own. There is also one more additional difficulty option that I've added to the game. Nemesis. Nemesis is a character who attempts to hunt you and kill you during mission mode. It is impossible to kill her with a frontal attack. If you want to kill her, you need to approach her from behind. However, if you run, she will hear your footsteps, so you have to walk, crouch, or crawl if you want to sneak up on her. You can decide whether or not Nemesis will spawn from the screen where you create your mission. To make things more interesting, you can also decide if she will be invincible or not. And to make your mission even more challenging, you can decide if Nemesis will be disguised as one of the female students. If she's not wearing a disguise, it's very easy to see her coming. She has messy hair, her eyes are thin, she wears gloves, and her hands are always fists. But if she is disguised as a student, there is nothing that gives away her identity. If Nemesis was too aggressive and was always heading straight for the player's current location, mission mode would become impossible. However, if Nemesis was just blindly wandering around the school, the player might never even encounter her, and she wouldn't present any challenge at all. I've tried to strike a middle ground, where she is intimidating and threatening, but not such a huge obstacle that the game ceases to be any fun at all. If this iteration of Nemesis isn't challenging enough, I'll make her more aggressive in the future. At a low difficulty level, Nemesis is not very intimidating. You can even toy with her if you want. But at a high difficulty level, when you have numerous conditions to worry about, and the timer is ticking down, and Nemesis is closing in on you, she becomes a much more formidable threat. There are two other additions to mission mode that I'd like to tell you about. First, it is now possible to custom design your own mission. You can decide which conditions you'll have to deal with and change the specifics of the conditions. When you design a mission, you'll see a string of numbers appear at the bottom of the screen. This is your mission ID. There is also a way to play a mission that another player has designed. If you go to the Load Mission screen, put a mission ID into the text field and press the confirm key, you'll see the corresponding mission appear on screen. This feature may be of special interest to YouTubers, who can use this feature to accept missions from their viewers. I hope you'll have fun with it. There is still so much more that I want to do with mission mode, but it'll have to wait until another time. For the next few weeks, my attention will be exclusively on Osana. Hopefully, animation assets will continue to come in at a steady pace so that her development won't be delayed much longer. I would love to do something special for Christmas like I did last year, but it would take a lot of time, and I'd rather focus my time on Osana right now, so I probably won't do anything festive on December 25th. In January of 2017, I'd like to follow up on the videos that I made in January of 2016. I'd like to talk about the past, present, and future of the game, subjects that I've polled the community about, the topic of Yandere Simulator being banned on Twitch, and other important subjects. That's all I have to say for now. Thanks for your patience, and thank you for following the development of Yandere Simulator.